Designing a website, extended project qualification by Georgina Tate. When trying to decide what my project should be, I knew I wanted to do something that I was interested in. I also knew that I needed to include something I knew would motivate me to do my project. I love Formula One, and so I decided to combine that with something I'd always wanted to learn, coding. So, what did I hope to achieve going into this project? I wanted to develop a moderate understanding of coding languages such as HTML and CSS. I also wanted to improve my organisational skills and expand my knowledge of Formula One. Once I had an idea of what my project was going to be, I started right away. Initial planning was to start learning code. There are many reasons as to why I did not create a timeline, but here are the basics. I do not necessarily have a problem with time management. What I do have a problem with is trying to anticipate when I'd hit certain waypoints in my project. I did not know how long it would take me to learn coding languages. I also did not know how many articles I would write. I was relying on the timings of the Formula One season to determine that. And so, I came to the conclusion that setting myself tasks on the day I was working on my project would create a better use of my time, and my diary evidences that. Although most of my research I conducted was secondary research, primary research was conducted in the form of feedback. My primary research consisted of me asking questions to my peers about my articles and about the layout of my website. This research helped me to evaluate my decisions and alter them if necessary. For my secondary research, I used websites to help me learn coding languages and content for my articles. I also asked peers in the industry for help when I was stuck on something, relying on their knowledge to further mine. Lastly, I listened to and watched podcasts and YouTube videos to develop my understanding of web design and Formula One. To analyse my sources, I created a source tracker. In this, I named and provided a link to the website, the date it was accessed, and what I used it for, and gave it a rating out of 10. Now we get to my artefact, the F1 news blog. I used two coding languages to develop my website, Hypertext Markup Language, or HTML, and Cascading Style Sheets, or CSS. To maintain the website, I wrote articles. These articles were informative and informal, the latter receiving positive feedback from peers and teachers, as it is easier to read. I really enjoyed writing these articles, as it provided me with a lot of research, and now I have a lot of knowledge on Formula One. Because I was already interested in Formula One before I started this project, it really helped me fine-tune my knowledge, and the details that were fine-tuned when I was writing became easier to explain. For example, the contents in my Basics for the Sport article were easier to explain as I was coming from someone who had learnt it from scratch. Skill development. At the beginning of this project, I had no knowledge of coding and the use of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now I can confidently code web pages and design them with the correct format and layout that I want to use. Furthermore, my organisational skills have improved. Keeping a diary of my project, as well as source trackers, skill trackers, and evidence trackers, has proved that I can be incredibly organised and has set me up well for the future. Before starting this project, I did not believe that I had any ounce of time management skills. I have now realised that I do, in fact, have the ability to time manage, just maybe not in the typical way. I've learnt how to undertake problems in a way that I can understand. This has increased my productivity as I now have a way of managing my time and resources more effectively. Coding is difficult in the way that if a piece of code does not work the way you intended, it's up to you to figure out where you went wrong. I've learnt to approach problems in a different, more open-minded way, and always know that there is a solution to an issue. This project has really made me realise my strengths and my weaknesses. My strengths during this project was application of knowledge, organisational skills, and coding. Weaknesses were finishing articles and keeping track of resources. I'm very proud that my project has gone well, and I've learnt new skills that I can use in the future. This project and the skills used will help me in my desired career path and will open up new opportunities. Thank you for listening.